to your teachers. Sam's books will be, the first two are available on Amazon, and so these are just some flyers that your teachers will have so that you remember his name and also the names of his books. And I am going to get some copies for the library also, which will be awesome. So here's Sam.
So like Kathy said, I'm Sam Reynolds. I used to go here many, many years ago, and I'm here to talk to you about how I wrote my books. So I am 17. I went to Pueblo the 2010-2011 school year. I was on the Spirit Dogs team. They don't have that team anymore, but I had my old shirt, so I decided to wear it. I had Miss Siminek, where are you? Right there. I had her as my English teacher, and it was awesome. I had Miss Pate, she is retired now. I had Miss Lyrequist, and she's still here, and Miss Alver moved to Oregon. Great teachers. I now go to a charter school in Mesa called Heritage Academy. It's right in the heart of downtown Mesa, across from the Mesa Arts Center. It's a really good school. They have good teachers. They have a whole ton of cool elective classes, and I will be graduating from there next year. So how my books began. It was the summer before my 6th grade year coming to Pueblo. And it was one of those days where you're with your best friend, you're sitting in the pool, you're eating barbecue chips, and then all of a sudden you just think to yourself, I'm going to write a book. And that's basically how it happened. I had been a fan of dinosaurs since I was a little boy in the 2nd grade. And I loved the Jurassic Park movies. They were always my favorite. And I decided to kind of incorporate those ideas into my story. So, writing 2 books at the same time and why it never ever works. I should have changed that. When I originally first started working on the series, I said, okay, there's going to be 4 books. I'm like, wait, I should write 2 books at the same time so I can get the books done twice as fast. It doesn't always work that way. I soon became focused on writing more of the 3rd book than the 1st book, and balancing continuity and events and characters dying or not dying and all that fun stuff. It didn't work, so I had to trash basically almost all of that book, which was really sad. However, Pueblo had a writing club way back in the day where they would encourage students to write creative writing or stories or books, and then we would send it to them, and they would print it out on this really nice paper, and they would give it to us in a little binder. I wish I could have brought it. And it was really cool to look at it and this could be a real thing one day. And then my concept over actual writing philosophy. It's a terrible philosophy. I was more focused on how the characters were going to look rather than what they were going to do in the story. I have a whole binder, which I should have brought, full of just drawings upon drawings of all these characters. And they're really cool looking, but more over the point, I was so much more focused on that than actually writing the story, so that hindered my process. So if I could give you guys the first piece of advice, focus on the story, wait for all the other stuff later, because it will come later. Now, publishing. Some of you might know Lizzie Stewart. She used to go here. She went a year after I did. She introduced me to this program called NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. And basically how it works is they have it every November, and you have to write a book in 30 days with 30,000 words or more. And if you set a word goal, I think mine was 40,000 words for the first one. If you set the word goal and you beat it, then you win the competition. And you get an opportunity to have your books get published by Amazon's publishing company called CreateSpace. I made an account with them, and basically how you set up a book is you put in your interior file or your PDF or whatever, and then you can use this software that they have on their website to make your own cover. And when you send it to them, it gets approved within 24 hours, and in the next few days, it's on Amazon.com, which is really cool. Now, my completed books that I've done so far. As you see, there's 3 versions of the first book on this table. The first version was this version that I published on December 11th of 2014. It's got a little bit different title than the rest of them because I decided to change it afterwards. And I was so focused on getting this book out as soon as I possibly could that I remembered, oh, this thing took 4 years to write, so it's full ton of errors. So I knew I couldn't let that stand as my only book. So what I did was I made a second version. I changed the title to make it look nicer, and then I realized, wait, there's still more errors. So I took a black pen, and I went through this. Just put edits upon edits upon edits, like Miss Simonix used to do to my papers. And after I had spent many days fixing the errors and resubmitting it, reapproving it, I came to this third and final version of Dino Hunters Part 1. Same title. It's the best version of the book that I have, and I am much more proud of it than I was with that first version. And the second book, I'll talk a little bit about that. If you've been following the timeline so far, I started this in 2010, just 6 years ago, and it took me 4 years to write the first book. It took me 4 years because I would say write a chapter, and then I wouldn't write for like 2 weeks. Then I'd write another chapter, I wouldn't write for like 3 weeks. And then on and on and on. I would write a little bit more, but I'd also slack off a little bit more. And that added up a lot, which is why it took so long. The second book, it didn't take me 4 years, it took 4 months. And for editing, I didn't want to go through that horrible process again, so I gave it to my friend who helped me co-create the series, and we edited it together. It was great, and now this book's about double the size of the first one, and it's, in my opinion, much better because I was a much better writer when I wrote it. And now I'm going to read you guys the summary of both books because I have a very special treat after that. Harrison, that's not food. Harrison Lumina was just an ordinary teenager living in Minneapolis, Minnesota. He and his 7 friends would soon experience the greatest tragedy of their time, because they would soon be the ones to save mankind from total annihilation. What seemed as a night at the prom turned to a gory disaster, and what seemed as normal was all thrown away. The city was destroyed, and a man was claimed responsible. He did what no one thought was possible. He bred species that were lost to the ravages of time. He reanimated prehistoric dinosaurs for one purpose, to wreak havoc. Will Harrison and his friends be able to stop them in time? Will the villain be brought to justice or bring the world down to its knees? Will the government try to sabotage the mission rather than aid our heroes? Will their group known as the Hunters complete the task ahead or come short and seal humankind's extinction? Discover in this thrilling novel full of intense action, romance, mysteries around every corner, and a story that will keep you on the edge of your seat begging for more. The truth, the real story, is unveiled in the beginning of this deadly journey, Dino Hunters Part 1. And now on to Part 2. Left in the ruins with the member dead and the ships obliterated, the Hunters' only objective left is to survive. The island of Torontico is a place of many secrets, and the group discovers these secrets as they try to uncover the mysteries of the island. Oliver Jensen still poses a grave threat to society and the world, greater than before. Will they be able to cage the dinosaur threat in time, or will they be forced to take extreme measures and change their objective entirely in order to save the world? Harrison and those who will remain will be put to the ultimate test that will either unite them together or sever them permanently. Dive into the highly anticipated sequel to Dino Hunters Part 1 and follow the Hunters through the next phase of their perilous, life-threatening journey in Dino Hunters Part 2 Armageddon. Now, my special treat for you all, I'm going to talk about my upcoming project. Coming soon this spring, in the next few months, will be my third novel called Deadlock. It won't be called Dino Hunters Part 3 for various reasons. If you read Part 2, you'll know why. Basically, I was going to have this book out last December to commemorate the 1-year anniversary of the first book getting published, but sadly my life got in the way and that did not happen. But now I'm trying to focus as much as I can on finishing this book in an orderly manner, not rushing it, making it really good, because this is going to be probably one of the most pivotal books, if not the most pivotal of the entire series. Because a lot of bad stuff's going to happen, and that's a lot of fun to write. And this is going to be the background image of the cover. There's 5 birds on the fence there. Those do have some symbolism. And now I'm going to read you the summary of Deadlock. Although the Hunters managed to escape the clutches of Oliver Jensen on Torontico, he still remains a grave threat. Thought to be dead, there was nothing left to stop him from unleashing the final phase of his ultimate plan, making humanity pay the price. Finding themselves on the run, will the team be able to end Jensen's plans before they come to fruition? Or, when faced with the bounty on their heads, will Harrison's actions risk the future of humanity? Just over a year after the first in the series was released, the next chapter of the long-lost secret series has arrived. Join Harrison and his team as they once again have to fight their way to survive through this epic yet grim journey. Prepare, as all hope seems lost and all hell breaks loose in Deadlock. Now, my plans for the future as an author, like I said, you fell over. There's going to be 4 books in the series, and now that I have 2 done, I have 2 left. Deadlock will be coming this spring, hopefully by March, I'm hoping. And then the 4th book, Annihilation, will be coming later in 2016. I'm saying hopefully August or so. I also have plans to go visit more schools. I've really enjoyed these author visits that I've done so far today. All the classes have been great. I've also been over to Paloma with the 5th graders. They were really enthusiastic. They loved the idea of the book. And I'm hoping that other schools will let me come and present as well. And I'm hoping that using my creative skills and skills as a writer, that I can be able to accomplish one of my greatest goals, which has always been to show the world what I'm capable of and how far I'm willing to go to make something as perfect as it can be, and to show that through these books, through their stories, through dialogue and characters. Now, with the little time that we have left, we're going to have a Q&A, so if you guys have questions, just ask and I'll answer. You in the back, tell me your name.
It's Gabe.
Gabe? Okay.
I knew your name rung a bell. You gave me a thing last year, right? I think I know.
I know I was at Paloma last year. I was in Paloma in...
Mr. Daly?
Yeah. Were you guys in that class?
Yeah.
Oh, so you've seen me before.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I was here, I was at Paloma last January. No wonder I recognize some of you guys. Tell me your name?
Madison?
Madison?
Why did you choose the covers of the book?
The first cover is an actual picture of Minneapolis, which is where it takes place to begin with, and the second one is a picture of like an island, and I think there's little dinosaurs on the bottom eating leaves, I think.
Okay.
Tell me your name?
Sophia.
Sophia.
Are you going to make more than 5 books? 4 or 5?
Right now, my plan was just to make 4, but I had a plan for a spin-off series, or a spin-off book dealing with dragons. And it was going to be called Dragon Hunters. It was going to be really cool. So I decided, because I really wanted to have that arc somewhere in the series and not have it be a spin-off in another book. So what I've done for part 3, one of the things I do with all my books is I like to change them up, make them like completely different than the last one. And with this one, I took the Dragon Hunters arc and made that half the book. And the main story with the other characters is going to be the other half of the book. So you will be switching back and forth constantly between what's going on with the dragons in another dimension and what's going on with the main humans in the real world, which will be really cool to see how it kind of parallels. You in the back, tell me your name?
Well, I was wondering, once you do like your 4 books that you wanted to when you're a kid, are you gonna like make more books, like not keep going on into other books, like those books, but just like with a new series?
Like a new series? I've always considered it. I've always, like right now, all I have in my head is this one idea, and until I get every inkling and last word on a piece of paper, I will not be finished with this idea. And I've also planned to kind of write a biography of my life in the last like 6 or 7 years about what I've learned, like how becoming an author has changed me and what lessons I've learned in high school and stuff. So that'll probably be another book I'll write soon.
I have 2 questions about all the characters. So one, is the villain going to join the team at any kind of point?
No.
And will any of the main characters betray each other?
Oh yes. That is one of the main focuses of the second book, is them betraying each other, which then splits the group and causes a lot of bad things to happen. Miss Siminek?
You know my name. I'm just wondering what you're thinking about the future in terms of your education. Are you going to study writing in college, or what are you thinking?
I'm thinking that when I get into college, I will, like right now, I'm kind of still doing this off to the side, so whether more means or however far this goes will kind of determine what I'll major in. So like if this doesn't work out, then I'm thinking I'll probably go and major in like computer science or electrical engineering.
All good fields.
Any other questions?
Do you guys think you could do what he just did? Write a couple
Maybe,
books
possibly.
by your face?
Possibly.
It is possible. It is possible, but it is also very impossible. I can see how you both. I can see how you all would think. Well, it has to be this, but it can't be this at the same time. Well, it can, in this case, because it's possible to do anything you want, even writing a book. But it also seems impossible when you don't actually go and do it. Like, that's one of the things that I think I've learned is that even though you might have this little thing in the back of your head saying, oh, you can't do this, you're never going to do anything so great as this. But when you finally do it and you say, no, you are stupid, and you actually accomplish what you set to do, it feels so good. It feels so gratifying. You just feel so happy with yourself that you did something so great. You just want to do even more.
How much are they on Amazon?
$10 each.
Wow.
I have not won an award for writing books, but at my school I am currently the only one in my school's history of 21 years to actually write a book.
Good for you. First time.
And my best friend will be the second. He's writing a nonfiction book, which I'm like, bleh, nonfiction. It's facts. And a lot more work to write a nonfiction book. That's why I do fiction. But he'll be the second one. I'll be the first one. So we're best friends for a reason. It's not like we hate each other. We're very best friends. Like we're competing right now to see who's going to be valedictorian. Right now I'm in the lead, but we constantly switch back and forth. So it's like a blood feud without blood. So.
Mine is blood.
What's your friend's book name going to be?
I don't know yet. He hasn't told me. It's very under wraps. It's like he said it's something like a controversial topic, which I don't quite know what it is. He said that I should like it. Like, okay, I believe you.
Titanic.
I don't know. Any other questions for me?
Did you tell your friends title?
What?
Did you tell your title to your friends?
Well, yeah. When my books.
He betrayed you.
He's not betrayed. When my books came out, I sent a big, huge email to all of my teachers, including Miss Siminek, so she knew about it. And I came to school that following Monday with one of the books so I could show everybody. And when I sat down and when they had the announcements, my principal announced the book to the entire school, and he did that for the second one too. So it was really, really cool. So like everybody knows that I'm the one that does books. So like Kathy said before, right, I need it. Let's go back. I don't know how to go back. So she said we had the little flyers. I think you got some flyers. So if you guys want to check the books on Amazon, please do. Because I would say stay away from the review section. It's kind of bad. But other than that, just do whatever you want. Thank you guys for letting me come here and talk to you. It's good to see some of you guys again. Miss Siminek, don't I get a hug?